on High-Q, we continue our second round of 1989 competition with a team from Jeffersonville High School as they compete with a team from Oldham County High School. High-Q is brought to you each week by Ashland Oil. Ashland's America, where quality education is an investment we've got to make. Your host for High-Q, Chuck Casteel.
Thank you, Gil Doherty, and good morning. Ashland Oil and Wave 3 are proud to present this program now in its 21st season here on Channel 3. High-Q is designed to stimulate and to recognize scholastic achievement while focusing on the positive action of today's youth. Let's get started now. Meet our teams. First, from Jeffersonville.
David Davis, Jr.
Joseph Dennison, sophomore.
Jay Shute, Senior.
Scott Gardner, Senior.
The team from Jeffersonville. Now I'd like you to meet the team from Oldham County.
Rob Matthew, Senior. Lance Gilmet, Senior.
Josh Gedney, Jr. Jeff Enzer, sophomore.
The team from Oldham County. Now I'd like you to meet the coaches of the teams from Jeffersonville. We have Jill O'Daniel, and from Oldham County, we have Ann Whitfield. Coaches, good luck to you and your teams.
Now here are the rules. There are two kinds of questions: toss-up questions worth 10 points and bonus questions worth a stated number of points. When a team answers a toss-up correctly, it earns 10 points and a chance at a bonus. If a team misses a toss-up question, the other team gets a chance to answer it. You may interrupt a toss-up question, but if you do and your answer is wrong, your team is penalized 5 points, and the entire question is repeated for the other team. On a toss-up question, only the person who signals first may answer, and must do so without team conference. However, you may work together on a bonus. Remember, only the captain may answer a bonus question.
Okay, teams, you've got the rules. Now, remember, when you hear this sound, your time to answer a question will be up. Our judge in today's game is Jim Holmberg. Jim, welcome. We'll start our game right after this. Okay, teams, the whistle starts our game. You're playing for a 20-point bonus. You toss up for 10. 11 cents out of every federal dollar was given away in 1947, and none of it went to Americans. For this 10, what is the usual name for this federally funded European recovery program?
Matthew, Oldham County.
Marshall Plan?
Yes, sir, for 10 big points. Very good. 20 on the way to you. At a time when several U.S. cities and states are legislating English as the only official language, it might well be well to consider Switzerland, which does very well with 4 official languages. Which 4?
French, German, English, Netherlands. Netherlandese.
No, I needed French and German. You got 10 points on that. Italian and Romansh was were the other 2. 10 points on the 20. 20 coming. For 10 points on your toss-up teams, his 1960 funeral quickly became a protest demonstration against the regime which had sought to silence him. Who was this Russian Nobel Prize-winning writer?
Gilmet, Oldham County.
Alexander Solzhenitsyn.
Can you take it, Jeffersonville?
Gardner, Jeffersonville.
Dostoevsky.
Pasternak, Boris Pasternak. No points. 20, same one. New toss-up. Teams, his newest contraption requires a player to get 18 clocks on a plastic disc to reach midnight.
Matthew, Oldham County.
Rubik.
Rubik, yes, for 10. Here's your 20. Natula Pass is at 14,000 feet above sea level, the highest strategic pass in the world, and connects which 2 major and not always friendly Asian nations?
China and the Soviet Union.
China will give you. India was the other. You're half right. 10 on the 20. 30 on the way. Toss up. Governor Dukakis vetoed a bill requiring its recitation in schools, and George Bush...
Gardner, Jeffersonville.
The Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes, sir, for 10 big points. Here's your 30. 30 points will be yours for naming this person on the first clue, 20 on the second, 10 on the third. He personally led the British expedition that burned Richmond, Virginia, and New London, Connecticut during the American Revolution.
Cornwallis.
Number 2 for 20 points. Previously, he had been a major general and war hero in Washington's Continental Army. For 10 points, his attempt to betray West Point to the British has made his name synonymous with treachery.
Benedict Arnold.
Yes, sir, for 10 points. 25 on the way. 10-pointer. Teams, in the hundreds of pages and thousands of citations in Bartlett's familiar quotations, there's only one mathematical formula. Give me.
Gardner, Jeffersonville.
Pythagorean theorem.
It's a 5-point penalty. I'll repeat it for Oldham County. In the hundreds of pages and thousands of citations in Bartlett's familiar quotations, there's only one mathematical formula. Give me this classic 1905 equation.
Gilmet, Oldham County.
E equals MC squared.
Yes, sir, for 10 points. Here's your 25. He moved to the Big Apple from rural Monroeville, Alabama, determined to become another Flaubert, and like his literary hero, he scored big with a heroine he created, Holly Golightly. Who was this unique personality and author of In Cold Blood?
Truman Capote.
Yes, sir, for 25 big points. 30 coming. Here's your 10-pointer. Teams, in 30 million years, it will be a new suburb of San Francisco. 30 million years after that, it will be up on the Oregon border. Name this largest U.S. city on the Pacific side of this.
Gilmet, Oldham County.
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, yes, sir. The San Andreas Fault. That's your 10. Here's your 30. Flightless birds usually evolve on isolated islands where they have no enemies to fly away from. Then humans arrive, and it's bye-bye birdies. For 10 apiece of the Mauritius, Iceland, New Zealand, Madagascar, and Easter Island, which island was the primary home of these flightless and now extinct birds? Dodo.
Madagascar.
Mauritius. 12-foot-tall moa.
Madagascar.
New Zealand. 1,000-pound elephant bird.
Madagascar.
Yes, sir. Madagascar. One right. 10 on the 30. Going for 30. 10 points will get you there. Teams, he considered one of his proudest moments to be his firing in 1964. Before then, no one in his position would have been allowed such a thing and would have shot anyone suggesting it. Who was this Soviet premier?
Matthew, Oldham County.
Khrushchev.
Yes, sir, for 10 big points. Here's your 30. In 1988, Steffi Graf became only the 5th person to win the Grand Slam of tennis in a calendar year. 10 apiece, name any 3 of her 4 predecessors.
Billie Jean King.
Nope.
Martina Navratilova.
Nope.
Jimmy Connors.
No. Let's go with Don Budge in 38, Maureen Mo Connolly in 53, Rod Laver in 62-69, Margaret Court and Margaret Smith in 1970. No points on the 30. Another 20 coming to us here. Here's your 10. Teams, it names that particular time in an animal's life cycle when it sheds its skin or
Denison, Jeffersonville.
Molting.
5-point penalty. I'll repeat the question for Oldham County. It names that particular time in an animal's life cycle when it sheds its skin or antlers, and also that type of tree which sheds its leaves once a year. What is this 4-syllable word?
Ensor, Oldham County.
Perennial.
I needed deciduous. No points. Same 20. Do toss up. Teams, commas, semicolons, periods, exclamation points, and or question marks. For this 10, which is the only one in American usage which can ever immediately precede the second of a pair of quotation marks? Which can never immediately precede. That can never immediately precede the second of a pair of quotation marks.
Gilmet, Oldham County.
Semicolon.
Yes, sir, for 10 points. Here's your 20. Some astronomers do not consider such large gaseous bodies as Saturn and Jupiter to be planets at all, but failed stars. Such would-be stars are given a 2-word name based upon their small size and lack of brightness. What are these 2 words?
Dwarf stars.
We'll give you dwarfs. Brown dwarfs is what I needed. Half right. 10 on the 20. Going for a 20. Toss up for 10. In 1988 just wasn't a good year for the yacht New Zealand. Less than a month after losing the America's Cup, it accidentally entered the territorial waters and was seized by what Caribbean nation?
Gardner, Jeffersonville.
Cuba.
Yes, sir. Cuba for 10. Here's your 20. In a letter to his wife on December 19, 1793, he wrote, "My country has in its wisdom contrived for me the most insignificant office that ever the invention of man contrived or has imagined, as imagination conceived." For 10 points each, who was the writer and what was the office he was describing?
Vice President Thomas Jefferson.
He's John Adams. We'll give you half on that. 10 on the 20. 25 on the way. Teams, the latest trade barrier introduced in Congress is unabashedly protectionist. but now in the unusual, but not in the unusual way. But not in the usual way. It would ban the import of what was called any ghoulish souvenirs snatched from the Atlantic Ocean floor by anyone trying to salvage.
Matthew, Oldham County.
Titanic.
Yes, sir. Titanic, 410. Here's your 25. He played a bartender in the movie The Right Stuff, while actor Sam Shepard played him in the same film. Name him.
John Glenn.
Chuck Yeager. 20 on the way. Toss up. Samuel Hopkins of Philadelphia received the first one on July 31st, 1790 for his new method of making potash. What is this protective federal grant?
Davis, Jeffersonville.
Patent.
Yes, sir, for 10 points. Here's your 20-point bonus. This famous thoroughbred won 20 of the 21 races he was entered in. He sired 62 stakes winners before dying in 1947. Oddly enough, he did not win the 1920 Triple Crown because he did not run in the Kentucky Derby. Who is this famous horse buried beneath his statue at the Kentucky Horse Park? He was nicknamed Big Red.
Man of War.
Yes, sir, for 20 big points. 30 on the way. Get there with this 10. Teams, this man was a native of Madison County, Kentucky. He grew up in Missouri and went west to the Rocky Mountains while still a teenager. The rest of his life was primarily spent in the West, where he became a famous mountain man, scout, and soldier. A Western state's capital is named for him. Who was this native?
Davis, Jeffersonville.
Fremont.
It's a 5-point penalty. I'll repeat the question for Oldham County. This man was a native of Madison County, Kentucky, grew up in Missouri, went west to the Rocky Mountains when he was still a teenager. Rest of his life, his life was spent in the West, where he became a famous mountain man, scout, and soldier. The Western state's capital is named for him. Who was this native Kentuckian, better known by his nickname than his Christian name? Kit Carson, Christopher Kit Carson. No points. Teams, we are at the half. The score right now, Jeffersonville 55, Oldham County 135. In just a minute, we'll take time out to talk to our individual team members. From Jeffersonville, let's meet our individual team members. First, David Davis. David, what about activities for you?
Well, this summer I plan to just work towards my car, and I'm trying to finalize plans for college if I'm going.
Joseph Dennison. Joseph, summer plans?
Well, no summer plans, but I hope to go to the Naval Academy.
Great. Joe Shue. Joe, what about college? Jay Shue. Sorry, Jay.
Well, I plan to attend Purdue University this fall and major in electrical engineering.
Scott Gardner. Scott, college?
I plan to attend the Indiana University in Bloomington, major in business and communications.
Good luck to all of you. The team from Jeffersonville. Now I'd like you to meet the team from Oldham County. First, let's talk to Rob Matthew. Rob, college plans?
I'm planning on attending Boston University as a trustee scholar and majoring in communications.
All right, Lance Gilman. Lance, college?
In the fall, I plan to go to Massachusetts Institute of Technology and major in some form of engineering.
Joshua Getty. Joshua?
I plan this summer to go to the Governor's Scholars Program at Center.
All right, and Jeff Enzer. Jeff, some activities for you?
I'm involved in the science club, the chess club, and soccer.
Very good. Good luck to all of you. The team from Oldham County. IQ is a game of quick recall and should reflect in only an incidental way the many fine accomplishments of schools such as Jeffersonville and Oldham County, and Wave 3 and National Noah salute them as they strive to prepare our young people for the future. Team's whistle starts our second half. The score remains Jeffersonville 55, Oldham County 135. Now remember, the next time the whistle blows, the game is over. If it blows while I'm asking a question, I simply stop. If it blows while you're answering a question, you're permitted to answer that one question or portion of that question and no more. Going for a 30, toss up for 10 will get you to that. Verdi didn't finish his first symphony until he was 15 years old. Precocious, yes, but nothing compared to this earlier prodigy who had finished his 14th symphony by that age. For 10 points, name this amazing Austrian, the subject of an...
Dennison, Jeffersonville.
Mozart.
Yes, sir, Mozart. Very good. For 10, here's your 30. Because the cross is a specially Christian symbol, it's specifically a Christian symbol, the Red Cross organizations in certain nations go by other names. 15 apiece, what is the equivalent of the Red Cross in Islamic nations?
The Red Star.
Red Crescent. In Israel?
The Red Star.
Yes, Red Star we'll take. Half right. 15 on the 30. 30 on the way. Let's go to the 10 to get you there. The Greek and Russian Orthodox churches began the season of Lent on Monday. What day of the week begins this season in Western Christianity?
Dennison, Jeffersonville.
Wednesday.
Yes, Ash Wednesday for 10. All I needed was Wednesday. Here's your 30. 1776 was a revolutionary year in political philosophy, and not just on this side of the Atlantic. 15 each. Name the British thinker who in that year wrote an inquiry into the nature and causes of the wealth of nations.
Adam Smith.
Yes. Fragment on government, the first utilitarian treatise.
John Locke.
I needed Jeremy Bentham on that one. Half right. 15 on the 30, another 30 on the way. Here's your 10. Teams, it was chartered on July 27, 1694, with 1.2 million pounds sterling in deposits. What is this enduring institution known as the Old Lady of...
Davis, Jeffersonville.
Harvard.
5-point penalty. I'll repeat the question for Oldham County. It was chartered on July 27, 1694, with 1.2 million pounds sterling in deposits. What is this enduring institution known as the Old Lady of Threadneedle Street?
Matthew, Oldham County.
Oxford.
Bank of England. No points. Same 30. New toss-up. Teams, Galileo's most telling proof that everything does not circle the Earth had nothing to do with anything circling the sun. What body did Galileo observe to be circled by 4 previously unknown moons?
Davis, Jeffersonville.
Saturn.
Can you take it, Oldham County? Signal again, please.
Insert, Oldham County.
Jupiter.
Jupiter, 410. Yes, sir. Here's your 30. It was the principal imperial residence of the Russian Tsars from 1762 to 1917. For 15 apiece, number 1, what 2-word name was given to this splendid royal residence?
Red Palace.
Winter Palace. What 1 word names the famous museum now housed there?
Pravda.
Hermitage. Hermitage. No points. 30 on the way. Toss up for 10. Hunter S. Thompson says it was Gordon Liddy. Watergate historians say the leading candidate is W. Mark Felt, while others have suggested Henry Kissinger or David Eisenhower. For this 10-pointer, what 2-word code name did Bob Woodward give?
Matthew, Oldham County.
Deep Throat.
Yes, sir. Deep Throat. 410. Here's your 30. Most nations have their own patron saint. The continent of Europe, however, has 3 official patron saints: a 6th century Italian hermit who institutionalized monasticism, and 2 9th century brothers known for creating the Slavic alphabet. 10 points each. Name them.
Patrick, Solaris, and Christopher.
None right. St. Benedict, St. Cyril, and St. Methodius, rather. No points on the 30. 30 on the way. 10 points. It is 10 decades long, but lasts only about half an hour. The singer Madonna has often worn one as a necklace, but it is more associated with an even better-known Madonna. What is this Catholic religious artifact composed of beads?
Gedney, Oldham County.
Rosary.
Yes, sir. Rosary, 410. Here's your 30. Of the following trios of countries, which is geographically the largest? West Germany, Japan, or Italy?
Italy.
Japan. Togo, Tonga, or Trinidad?
Trinidad.
Togo on that one. Mali, Mauritania, or Malawi?
Mali.
Mali's correct. 10 points on the 30. 30 coming. Shoot at it with this 10. Teams, by winning the 1988 D.C. Tennis Classic, he raised his record lifetime singles championship mark to 106 and broke a 4-year drought. Name this 36-year-old American.
Gardner, Jeffersonville.
John McEnroe.
I said enough. Can you take it, Oldham County?
Matthew, Oldham County.
Jimmy Connors.
Yes, sir. Jimmy Connors, 410. Here's your 30. Beware of returning gods, the quote says. They aren't usually what they're cracked up to be. For this one, 15 apiece on the 2. Which conquistador did Montezuma, to his regret, mistakenly believe to be the return of Quetzalcoatl?
Pizarro.
I needed Cortez, Fernando Cortez on that one. Which English explorer did King Tariubu of Hawaii mistakenly believed to be the returning god of Lono?
Cabot.
Cook. Captain James Cook. No points on the 30. Another 30. Getting there with this 10. Solemvo is the largest oil terminal in the world outside the Middle East and is located on a group of islands between Norway and Scotland. Name this island group, previously better known for its sheep and its tiny ponies.
Gedney, Oldham County.
Shetland.
Shetland Islands, yes, for 10. For 30 points, consider the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, the Doomsday Book, and the Magna Carta, and Luther's 95 Theses. or theses. For 15 apiece, which one was not originally written in Latin?
95 Theses.
Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. In what language were these meditations written?
Roman.
Greek. No points on the 30, 20 on the way. For 10 points, teams, it is appreciably larger than any cell in the human body, even though unlike the body's cells, it has no...
Gilmet, Oldham County.
Neuron.
5-point penalty. I'll repeat the question for Jeffersonville. Is appreciably larger than any cell in the human body, even though, unlike the body cells, it has no shape. What is this common, large, amorphous, one-celled animal?
Shoe, Jeffersonville.
Amoeba.
Yes, sir. Amoeba, or amoeba. For 10. Here's your 20. Name the classic Walt Disney film which features this alliterative, nonsensical lyric. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiroo.
Mary Poppins.
Yes, sir. Bibbidi bobbidi, bibbidi bobbidi, bibbidi bobbidi boo. Time is up. Cinderella on that one. Half right. 10 on the 20. Teams are shooting at a 30. This 10-pointer will get you there. He lived and died the part, granting interviews while in his coffin and finally being buried in his long black cape. Who was this Transylvanian-born?
Matthew, Oldham County.
Bill Lugosi.
Yes, sir. Lugosi for 10. Here's your 30. It is both the oldest political party in Ireland and the only one which operates in both the Republic of Ireland and in Northern Ireland. For 10 apiece, 15 apiece, name it.
Irish Republican Army.
No. It is Sinn Féin. Now spell it for me.
S-H-I-M-F-A-N-E.
It's S-I-N-N-F-E-I-N. No points on the 30. 20-pointer coming. Toss up for a 10. Teams, this novel contains an essay on the convent as an institution, a sociological study of slum life, an account of the Battle of Waterloo, and a detailed description of the sewers of Paris. Name this classic by Victor Hugo, now making a record-breaking Broadway run.
Shoe, Jeffersonville.
Phantom of the Opera.
Can you take it, Oldham County?
Matthew, Oldham County.
Les Miserables.
Yes, Les Miserables. For 10, here's your 20. The substance that results when oxygen unites with another element is called an oxide. Give me the common name of these oxides. Ferric oxide.
Iron oxide.
I needed rust, Judge. We needed rust. Hydrogen oxide.
Water.
Correct. Half right. 10 on the 20. 20 on the way. Toss up. Teams that can pull 80 times its own weight and jump 30 times its own height. For this 10-pointer, what?
Gedney, Oldham County.
Ant.
5-point penalty. I'll repeat the question for Jeffersonville. That can pull 80 times its own weight, jump 30 times its own height. What are these wingless parasites which can also carry typhus and bubonic plague?
Davis, Jeffersonville.
The flea.
Fleas for 10. Yes, sir. Here's your 20. They served together in Wilson's wartime cabinet, were good friends, and considered running for president and vice president together in 1920. They each became president, but never ran together. They ran against each other and became bitter enemies. Name them.
Roosevelt, Franklin, and Herb Hoover.
You got it for 20 big points. 30 coming up. 10 points will get you there. Teams, he was nagged by his wife, was chronically short of money, and had a reputation as something of a bungler. He was also early to bed and early to rise, and signed...
Davis, Jeffersonville.
Ben Franklin.
Yes, sir. Ben Franklin for 10 points. Here's your 30. 30 points are yours for identifying this person on the first clue, 20 on the second, 10 on the third. Number one, his syndicated newspaper column is titled On the Right.
William F. Buckley.
Yes, sir. For 30 big points. Team's time is up. Our game is over. We'll check the final score and announce today's winner right after this.
This is the world's foremost reference encyclopedia. It consists of 30 volumes, 36,000 pages, and approximately 29 million words. This is Deborah Myers, my history teacher. She has a master's degree in education, plays a mean harmonica, and she knows as much about Michael Jackson as she does about Andrew Jackson. Both are invaluable tools of education. But I ask you, could an encyclopedia teach you to do this?
The best reward a journalist can receive is to know that their work is appreciated. Appreciated not only by their peers, but even more importantly, by their audience. Louisville Magazine once again honored the city's best, and the people chose Wave 3's Jackie Hayes as their favorite news anchor. Tom Wills and John Belsky as best weathermen. And best sportscaster went to Bob Dominy. thank you for choosing Wave 3 News as your #1 news station. Jackie returns to Wave 3 News Thursday, July 6th.
Well, our high-Q scoreboard shows us today's winner in a close game. Oldham County defeating Jeffersonville 215 to 190. Oldham County, congratulations. Next week, round 2 continues as Grayson County takes on Washington County. That's next Sunday at 10:30 in the morning for the fast-moving question-and-answer game high-Q. Good afternoon.
In each round of high-Q, including any finals and semifinals, Spalding will offer a scholarship of $1,000 and $500 respectively to the schools represented by the winning and runner-up teams. Each school may then award the accumulated scholarships to students planning to attend Spalding, with first preference going to members of the high-Q team. Questions used on high-Q have been researched and authenticated by the editorial staff of High School Bowl Incorporated and high-Q judge Jim Holmberg of the Filson Club of Louisville. high-Q is brought to you each week by Ashland Oil. Ashland's America, where quality education is an investment we've got to make.